Hello dear friends, welcome to this lecture of Laplace transform. In this lecture we shall study shifting theorems, or which are also known as translation theorems. There are two shifting theorems. First we shall have first shifting theorem or first translation theorem. The statement is, if L of f of t is equal to f of s, then L of e power at into f of t is equal to f of s minus a. That is the first shifting theorem. Laplace transform of f of t is denoted by this small f letter, f of s. S is parameter of the Laplace transform. Then the Laplace transform of f of t multiplied by e power at. See the difference in this two Laplace transforms. This is Laplace transform of the function f of t. If it is f of s, then the Laplace transform of e power at into f of t. When f of t is multiplied by e power at, then its Laplace transform becomes f of s minus a, where a is the coefficient of t in the exponent. Now we shall prove the theorem. So the proof is easy and using the definition of Laplace transform. So this is given notation. So we have let Laplace transform of capital F of t is equal to small f of s. And by definition this is, so this is integral 0 to infinity e power minus st f of t into dt. So this is we have, and therefore we have the Laplace transform of e power at into f of t is equal to, by definition, integral 0 to infinity e power minus st, which is kernel of the Laplace transform. This integral range and this kernel remains fixed. Now in place of the function, this is the function here. Instead of f of t, here it is e power at into f of t, and therefore we have to write e power at into f of t into dt. So this is actually the definition of Laplace transform, and from this definition we have written the Laplace transform of the new function, which is e power at multiplied by f of t. Now this can be simplified and we can write this as integral 0 to infinity e power. Now we can combine these two functions using law of indices, and that is minus, I shall take minus sign common and t common, in bracket it remains s minus a. You verify this. It is e power minus st and plus a into t, that is sum of the indices. Base is e, f of t dt. Now we can observe this, see, suppose this as 1. We have integral 0 to infinity e power minus st f of t dt is equal to f of s, and here it is integral 0 to infinity e power minus s minus a into t f of t dt. So this will be comparing this with the first integral. In place of s, here is s minus a. Other terms are the same, and therefore this will be, if this is f of s, this will be f of s minus a. You see the exponent and see the coefficient of t. Here it is negative s, here it is negative s minus a. If it is negative s, then the transform is denoted by f of s, and here it is f of s minus a. So this is equal to f of s minus a by 1 from this, and this proves the result. So that means L of e power at into f of t, Laplace transform of this is equal to f of s minus a, and this proves the theorem, hence the proof. So it is easy to prove, only we have used the definition of Laplace transform. Now we shall consider a problem to illustrate the use of this shifting theorem. So why it is known as shifting theorem? Because it shifts the parameter s to s minus a, and when this happens, if this f of t is multiplied by e power at. So problem we shall consider for depending on this theorem, find L of I shall take e power 3t into bracket 4 sin t minus 2 cos phi t. Any example can be written of this type. Suppose we want to find this Laplace transform, then we shall have the solution for this. Now we observe the function whose Laplace transform is to be obtained. It is product of e power 3t and this bracket. So therefore it is of the type e power at into f of t. Now comparing these two, we shall get e power at, here it is e power 3t, that means a is 3. And what is f of t? F of t is this bracket. So first we need this Laplace transform of f of t is to be obtained, and therefore we suppose this function as f of t. So let f of t is equal to 4 sin t minus 2 cos phi t. This is f of t. We shall find out Laplace transform of f of t. We want to use the first shifting theorem. Therefore, L of f of t, which is equal to f of s, and this is L of f of t means L of this, that is 4 sin t minus 2 cos phi t, and that is equal to, we use the linearity property, and here this c1 c2 are these constants and this is f1 and f2. So therefore separate the transform, and at the same time we write the constants outside the transform. 4L sin t minus 2L of cos phi t, or that is again this is equal to 4. And what is the Laplace transform of sin t? We have derived these formulae in our earlier lecture, second lecture. So L of sin at is a divided by s square plus a square. Here it is sin t, therefore a is 1, and therefore it is 1 divided by s square plus 1 square, which is 1, minus 2, and Laplace transform of cos at is s divided by s square plus a square. So that is s divided by s square plus a square. A is 5 here, 5 square. And so thus this is f of s, or we can simplify this and can be written as 4 divided by s square plus 1 minus 2s divided by s square plus 25. So this is what is f of s, and we may suppose this as 1. So after obtaining f of s, now we can use this shifting theorem, first shifting theorem, to obtain the Laplace transform of this. So here at is, or by first shifting theorem, by first shifting theorem. So by first shifting theorem, which we have proved just now, L of e power at f of t is equal to f of s minus a, and now we want to use this for the given problem. So we have, therefore, so we have L of e power 3t into bracket, what is f of t? F of t is this one, 4 sin t minus 2 cos phi t is equal to, and this is f of s minus a. What is a? A is 3, and therefore this is f of s minus 3, where a is 3. And what is, how to write f of s minus 3? This is f of s. So in f of s, replace s by s minus 3 on the right side also. So that is, since this is equal to 4 divided by s is to be replaced by s minus 3. So square of s minus 3 plus 1 and minus 2 s minus 3 divided by s minus 3 square plus 25. So this we have written by 1, and thus this gives the answer, or at most this can be simplified as 4 divided by expansion of this will be s square minus 6s plus 9 plus 1, that is 10, and minus 2s minus 6 divided by this will be s square minus 6s plus 9 plus 25, that will be 34. So this is the answer, and this completes the solution, or we have obtained the Laplace transform of this given function e power 3t into 4 sin t minus 2 cos phi t using the first shifting theorem. So what is to be noted is that how to use the shifting theorems to obtain Laplace transform of given function. Now we shall consider the next theorem, or which is the second shifting theorem. Instead of first, now we consider second. Second shifting theorem, or this is also known as second translation theorem. And I shall write the statement first. Again, we use the same notation, that is L of f of t is equal to f of s. Laplace transform of f of t is f of s. Let L of f of t is equal to f of s, and suppose g of t, another function is defined here, and that in terms of capital F. It is f of t minus a when t is greater than a, and 0 when t is less than a. Then the Laplace transform of g of t is defined as e power minus as into f of s. So this is the second shifting or second translation theorem. Now what is the statement of the theorem? As usual, we denote Laplace transform of capital F by small f of s, and another function is defined in this form. G of t is equal to, having two definition here, or the definition contains two terms or two conditions, f of t minus a. It is f of t minus a if t is greater than a, depends on a, and 0 when t is less than a. So this function is defined in two ways, and then the Laplace transform of this g of t is given by e power negative as, where a is here, into f of s. So this is what we have to prove. Now again, this can be proved easily. So this is given, L of f of t is fs, or we may say given L of Laplace transform of f of t is equal to fs, and by definition it is integral 0 to infinity e power minus st f of t dt. And this function g of t is given in this way. Now we want to find L of g of t. So therefore now L of g of t is integral 0 to infinity by definition of Laplace transform. the kernel is e power minus st. Instead of f, we write g of t. This is Laplace transform of g of t. And but g of t has two values. When t is greater than a, it is f of t minus a, and when t is less than a, it is 0. So therefore we have to split this range of integration in two parts. We shall write this as 0 to a and then a to infinity, because the function has the definitions according the value of t. T is greater than a or t is less than a, and therefore I shall write this as, this is equal to integral 0 to a e power minus st into g of t dt plus integral a to infinity, using the property of definite integral 0 to a and then a to infinity, e power minus st into g of t dt. This we have written. Further, we now use the respective value of g in these intervals. The first part is, you see, integral 0 to a means it is with respect to t, that is t is between 0 and a, that is less than a. So we have actually split the range in two parts, 0 to infinity, and a is a non-negative quantity here, positive, and thus the 0 to infinity integral is divided into parts, 0 to a and then a to infinity. Now if t lies in this part, that is 0 is less than t is less than a, t is less than a means the function g of t is 0. So therefore here the value of g is 0 because it is less than a, and that we shall write as integral 0 to infinity, 0 to a e power minus st, and here g is 0 because by definition of g, when t is less than a, its value is 0, into dt plus integral a to infinity e power minus st, and when a to infinity means t is greater than a, here when t lies here, then it is t is greater than a, here t is less than a. So when t is greater than a, the value of g is f of t minus a. This is the value of g, f of t minus a into dt. So this is to be noted because the definition of g contains two values, and but now the first integral is 0, integration of 0 is 0, so this is 0, and therefore this is 0 plus integral a to infinity e power minus st f of t minus a into dt. And now that remains only this integral, first is 0, or simply this is the integral 0 a to infinity e power minus st f of t minus a, and that is L of g of t. Further, to evaluate it further, we shall use a substitution as t minus a is equal to p. Now put this, the left side is, we have L of g of t is, now put t minus a is equal to p, p or x it may be used, so we shall put t minus a is equal to p, or therefore what is the value of t? T will be p plus a, and what will the corresponding dt? Dt will be, differentiate this, a is a constant and therefore dt will be dp. And now what about the limits when t is equal to a, the lower limit? We have to change all these variable and limits of integration and differential also in terms of p. So when t is equal to a, the original limit is a, t is a, then p is 0, p is equal to 0, and when t approaches infinity, upper limit is infinity, so when t tends to infinity, this t is infinity, so therefore infinity minus a constant is again infinity, p also tends to infinity, and therefore the new limits will be 0 to infinity. These are the original limits, a to infinity, new limits are 0 to infinity, and therefore so we may suppose this as say this as 2, so we shall suppose this as 1 and this as 2. So therefore from 2, using this substitution in second, we get L of g of t is equal to, the integral range is 0 to infinity, e power minus s into t. S it remains the same, t is p plus a, minus s p plus a into f of t minus a is p, f of capital F of p, and dt is dp. So these changes we have used, substitutions we have used in second integral. And now from this is the integration with respect to p. So therefore e power minus sa can be taken outside the integral, and that is e power minus s into a, or that can be written as a into s, integral 0 to infinity. What remains inside the integral? Minus sp and f of p dp. Now you see this integral 0 to infinity e power minus sp f of p dp is exactly in the same form. Integral 0 to infinity e power minus st f of t dt. So in definite integral the variable can be changed. In place of p, here is t, but the form is exactly the same, and therefore this is fs. So this is also fs, and that is equal to e power as into fs. So that can be written from 1. So I shall write here, therefore L of g of t is equal to, this is e power minus as, and what is this is exactly f of s, because both the integrals are exactly the same. In definite integral it may be written in terms of p, t, etc. So therefore it remains the same. So it is fs by 1, and you see this proves the theorem. This is what we wanted to prove. L of g of t is equal to e power minus as into fs, hence the proof. Now we will have an example on this, problem on this, so as to understand the theorem. So I shall write a problem. Find L of g of t, where g of t is f of, say, instead of f I shall write sine of t minus pi by 3, and t is greater than pi by 3 and 0 when t is less than pi by 3. Now it is obvious that we should use this second shifting theorem, because a function g of t is defined in that form. G of t is sine t, it may be sine, cos or exponential function or algebraic function, but it has the form f of t minus a. So what is f can be considered here as sine, and then it is sine of t minus pi by 3. We take f of t as sine t. So this suggests the choice for f of t, and then we can use the second shifting theorem. The function is defined in this form. F of f means sine, t minus a is here pi by 3. T is greater than a means t is greater than pi by 3. 0 when t is less than a, t is less than pi by 3. So it is clear that we should use the second shifting theorem for this problem, to obtain the transform of g of t, Laplace transform of g of t. So by observation we have to decide which theorem or which result we have to use. And again here we will consider, let f of t is equal to, see, choice of the function is also decided by this. This is f. F means sine of t. Let f of t is equal to sine t. And what is a? A is equal to, or let a is A is here pi by 3, and therefore what will be f of t minus a? F of t minus a is equal to f of t minus pi by 3. A is pi by 3, and f of t minus pi by 3 means sine of t minus pi by 3. And thus we get this form, f of t minus a is sine of t minus pi by 3. But we require the Laplace transform of f of t here, that is to be obtained. L of f of t is fs. So now L of f of t is equal to the Laplace transform of sine of t, or that is to be denoted by f of s, small f of s, and that is L of sine of t. And we have the direct formula for this. Laplace transform of sine at is a divided by, a is here 1, s square plus 1 square. This is fs, so we suppose this as 1. And now we use the second shifting theorem. By second shifting theorem, we have L of gt is so by second shifting theorem, therefore we have, this is the second shifting theorem. If G has this form, and we have the G in that form, and therefore we have L of G of t is equal to e power minus as. What is a? A we have written here, pi by 3. A is pi by 3. Pi by 3 into s. And f of s. What is f of s? F of s is here 1 upon s square plus 1 square is 1. So this is written by 1. And hence this gives the required Laplace transform. Laplace transform of the given function. So thus we have studied the first shifting theorem and second shifting theorem, and we have also solved problem on it. Now I shall give you some problems for practice. These are the problems for practice. We have solved such type of problems. You should observe it again and then try to solve it. The first is find Laplace transform of e power minus t in bracket 3 sine hyperbolic sine 2t minus hyperbolic cos 2t. And this is the answer. So which theorem is to be used, first or second? That is to be decided first. And because this function is of the form e power at into f of t, so therefore we have to use the first shifting theorem for this problem. It is clear because it is a function of t multiplied by exponential function, and therefore here the f of t is to be taken this function. And then first obtain the Laplace transform of that will be small f of s, and then use the shifting theorem which gives f of s minus a, the transform of the whole function. So accordingly you should solve it. The second is L of t cube into e power minus 3t. Here also it is clear that we should use again the first shifting theorem, because it is e power at, a is minus 3. So this function can be written as first and t cube is the second. So here this should be f of t, and solve by the same first shifting theorem. This is the answer. Next is find L of g of t, where g of t is defined by these two values, cos of t minus 2 pi by 3 when t is greater than 2 pi by 3 and 0 when t is less than pi by 3. So for the third we should take first what is f of t. So this is actually f of t minus a. A is to be noted as 2 pi by 3 and f of t will be cos t. A is 2 pi by 3, so that we can easily observe here, and then this becomes f of t minus a. Use the second shifting theorem. find the transform of cos t. We know it is s divided by s square plus 1, and so this gives the answer. Now the last one is again L of g of t, where g of t is defined by this values. G of t is t minus 1 whole square when t is greater than a for the fourth. So what should be f of t? Again we want to use the second shifting theorem, and therefore f of t should be taken as t square. And what is a? A is this value t minus a, or here it is t is greater than a is 1, and therefore what it will be? F of t minus a, that is f of t minus 1, or which is equal to t minus 1 square. Find the Laplace transform f of t. It is easy, 2 upon s cube, and the answer is given in this form. So do the same steps that we have done for our earlier examples and try to solve these problems. So remaining part we will continue next time. Thank you.